Kenapa mereka harus koleksi saham bola?
Jadi pertama yang kita mesti lihat itu, kita udah pasti market leader, karena kita satunya nih.
One and the only.
One and the only.
IPO.
Kita yang pertama, dan kita juga selama ini berusaha untuk mengembangkan usaha bukan hanya mengenai bola, tapi lebih daripada bola itu sendiri. Tadi mengenai IO, production house, dan lain sebagainya. Yang kedua. Yang ketiga, bahwa perusahaan bola itu merupakan salah satu perusahaan yang umurnya paling panjang di dunia ini. Kita bisa melihat di klub Indonesia saja pun banyak kelas sepak bola yang sudah berdiri tahun 1928, 1933, 1943, jauh sebelum kemerdekaan. Sampai sekarang masih ada. Apalagi didukung dengan modal yang cukup besar dengan dari publik, maka kami sangat yakin bahwa kami bisa bertahan dengan jangka panjang. Jadi merupakan salah satu perusahaan yang bisa dibeli untuk long-term investment.
Ya, nanti malam kita akan ada pertandingan yang big match ini kayaknya.
Big match.
Ya kan, antara Persib Bandung dan juga Bali United. Ya, sukses untuk kedua tim.
Good luck, semoga fair play ya pastinya ya.
Amin.
Itu dengan Bali gitu.
Oh,
betul. Sip, kalau gitu Pak Yabes terima kasih.
Terima kasih.
Nanti malam mungkin kita ketemu di area VIP ya, karena kita juga masih akan nonton pertandingannya. Siap kalau gitu. Thank you Pak Yabes.
Hari mulai gelap. Sesaat lagi pertandingan antara Bali United menjamu klub bola asal Bandung Persib akan segera dimulai. Area stadion pun mulai dipenuhi oleh supporter dari kedua klub. Kami berdua mau siap-siap nonton.
Wah, pertandingan big match akan dimulai antara Bali United dengan Persib.
Euforianya udah kerasa banget ini, udah nggak sabar pengen liatin lombanya.
Orang-orang udah pada mulai masuk, dan kita juga mau masuk sebenarnya.
Benar, ini pertandingan yang harusnya seru banget ya. Kalau gue sih akan dukung BU, Bali United.
Ya.
Mudah-mudahan menang. Lo dukung mana?
Kalau gue dukung tim yang mau menang aja nanti.
Iya benar. Yang paling penting ini permainannya nanti fair play sih sebenarnya.
Siap, itu yang paling penting. Pertandingan berjalan dengan lancar dan semua bisa menikmati pertandingannya.
Sip, mantap.
Oke, sebelum kita masuk, terima kasih Anda sudah menyaksikan Hangout dan sampai jumpa di program Hangout berikutnya. Kita nonton dulu ya.
Bye.
Nah.
Up to May 2021, Indonesia posted trade surplus of 2.36 billion US dollar. Terus supermarket is exploring the options of monetizing infrastructure assets from a giant outlets. Hello, good evening, viewers. Market Headlines is ready to provide you a number of informations from business, economic, and capital market sector. And as the pandemic is still going on, we will provide you the latest COVID-19 information. So please stay safe by taking some simple precautions such as physical distancing, wearing a mask, avoiding crowds, cleaning your hands, and having less mobility. With me, Claranta Wijaya, and this is Market Headlines. So viewers, let's open up market headlines with a good news from macroeconomy. Whereas from 13 months ago up to May 2021, Indonesia posted trade surplus. As it was stated by Statistik Indonesia, Indonesia posted surplus of $2.36 billion. Indonesia's trade balance experienced a surplus of $2.36 billion or around 33.89 trillion rupiah in May 2021. The export value was recorded at $16.6 billion, increasing year on year by 58.76%.
Sehingga dengan demikian pada bulan Mei ini neraca perdagangan Indonesia kembali surplus sebesar 2,36 miliar US dollar. Dan nilai surplus ini lebih tinggi dari bulan April yang lalu, dan kalau kita lihat pergerakan neraca perdagangan mulai dari bulan Januari sampai dengan bulan Mei tahun 2021, berarti surplus perdagangan Indonesia pada bulan Mei tahun 2021 ini merupakan yang tertinggi selama tahun 2021.
For 13 consecutive months, Indonesia trade balance also experienced a surplus. This is an achievement that must be maintained, said by the head of Statistik Indonesia or BPS, Suharyanto. But the export was lower than previous month's export. Based on the sector that declined most are medicinal plants, aromatics and spices, and bird nest. From Jakarta, Rahaja Pamo, IDX Channel. As it gets controversial, now the Director General of Taxes is voicing about a VAT on educational services. It is explained that a VAT will be imposed on school fees within a certain range and criteria, but it will not be imposed on public schools. The Director General of Taxes confirmed that the proposed revisions of the law that would impose a value-added tax on some goods and services, including education services, but not all schools, would be subjected to VAT rates. There will be certain criteria. The Director of Extension Services and Public Relations Directorate of General of Taxes, Neil Madrin Nur, explained that VAT will be charged for educational institutions with certain criteria. Public schools with subsidized educational services will not be subjected to the value-added tax.
Data pendidikan yang mana, berapa batasannya, kan gitu ya. Ini tentunya kita masih akan melewati pembahasan-pembahasan, ya. Oleh karena itu kita tunggu, tapi sudah lebih jelas bahwa jasa pendidikan yang bersifat komersial, ya, dalam batasan tertentu ini akan dikenai PPN. Sementara jasa pendidikan yang mengemban misi sosial, kemanusiaan, ya, kemudian dinikmati oleh masyarakat banyak pada umumnya, ya, misalnya sekolah-sekolah SD negeri dan sebagainya, tentunya ini tidak dikenakan PPN.
The impositions of VAT on commercial schools will later see the ability to pay, while educational services that carry out social mission and public schools are not subjected to VAT. Jakarta, Rahajo Patmo, IDX Channel. With the polemics and various reactions from the public, state-owned bank associations or Himbara decided not to charge cash withdrawals and check balance for Link ATM users. State-owned Bank Association or Himbara chairman Sunarso said that his party cancelled the plan to charge balance checks and cash withdrawals at Link ATM. Not just postponed, but cancelled. Sunarso say that actually all banks apply fees when using different ATM machines. And according to the plan, this will also be applied to Link ATM, which is owned by Himbara. However, with the polemics and various reactions from the public, Himbara finally decided not to apply it.
Kemudian cek saldo juga kena biaya. Nah, itulah yang kemarin mau kita normalkan, tidak dikenakan biaya. Tapi bagaimana caranya supaya tidak kena biaya? Kalau kartunya itu BRI, ya cari di ATM BRI aja, itu pasti mau transaksi apa saja nggak kena biaya. Kira-kira seperti itu. Baik, tetapi rasanya polemiknya dan lain-lain lebih seru daripada manfaat yang kecil yang diperoleh oleh bank yang tadinya mau mengeduket orang supaya lebih ke mobile banking. Jadi kami berempat memutuskan bahwa tidak akan mengenakan biaya itu. Nah.
Previously, to check balance, the customer must pay a fee of 2,500 rupiah and for cash withdrawals of 5,000 rupiah. But now, it is free. Meanwhile, for transfers, the fee remains unchanged at 4,000 rupiah. From Jakarta, Adi Firmansyah, IDX Channel. Moving on to the global update, U.S. President Joe Biden and Turkish President Tayyip Erdogan sounded upbeat after their talks at NATO summit. Meanwhile, despite his controversy, Brazilian President Jair Bolsonaro asked Pfizer to speed up COVID-19 vaccinations delivery. And more stories on today's International Minute.
U.S. President Joe Biden and Turkish President Tayyip Erdogan sounded upbeat after their first face-to-face talks on Monday. Erdogan characterized his talks with Biden on the sidelines of a NATO summit as productive and sincere. Despite their publicly optimistic tone, neither provided any details on how exactly they would mend the relationship or lay out steps that would help ease tensions between the NATO allies. The broad terms of a trade deal between the UK and Australia have been agreed, with a formal announcement expected on Tuesday. UK Prime Minister Boris Johnson and Australian PM Scott Morrison agreed the deal over dinner at Downing Street. This is the first trade deal to be negotiated from scratch since the UK left the EU. It is seen as an important step towards the UK joining a wider Asia-Pacific free trade agreement. Brazilian President Jair Bolsonaro on Monday asked Pfizer to bring forward plane delivery of COVID-19 vaccines, a government source said, aiming to speed up a slow national inoculation program. The request is a turnaround for Bolsonaro, who last year ignored offers of vaccines from Pfizer, according to testimony to a Senate commission investigating delays in vaccinating the country with the world's second deadliest outbreak. Toshiba announced the resignations of several top officials, an explosive report released on June 10, containing details of an external investigation into the company accuses Toshiba of acting with the ministry to unjustifiably pressure some foreign shareholders over a personal proposal submitted at a shareholders meeting in summer 2020. IDX Channel reports.
Market headlines will be right back after this quick break. Stay tuned.
Jika Anda adalah investor saham, Anda mendapat keuntungan di antaranya capital gain, yaitu keuntungan dari selisih harga beli dan harga jual saham. Dividen, yaitu pembagian laba kepada pemegang saham. Keuntungan lainnya, investor bisa memperoleh pendapatan tambahan dengan meminjamkan sahamnya melalui layanan pinjam meminjam efek atau PME. Apa itu PME? PME merupakan pinjaman efek sementara berupa saham dari investor untuk keperluan penyelesaian transaksi bursa. Apa saja manfaat yang didapatkan? Investor memperoleh keuntungan Investor tetap dapat menerima dana sebagai pengganti dividen jika ada pembagian dividen saat sahamnya sedang dipinjamkan. Pendapatan yang diterima investor dari layanan PME dapat digunakan untuk membayar biaya penyimpanan saham. Saat nilai saham turun, investor tetap dapat memperoleh pendapatan hingga mengurangi potensi kerugian. Dan yang terpenting, KPEI menjamin pengembalian saham yang dipinjamkan sesuai waktu yang telah ditentukan. Menarik bukan? Prosesnya sangat sederhana. Investor cukup menghubungi perusahaan sekuritas dan menandatangani formulir perjanjian PME. Selanjutnya, jika terdapat kebutuhan penyelesaian transaksi bursa oleh peminjam, saham yang akan dipinjamkan diserahkan kepada KPEI melalui perusahaan sekuritas. Setelah proses PME selesai, maka KPEI akan mengembalikan saham yang telah dipinjamkan dan memberikan pendapatan kepada investor melalui perusahaan sekuritas. Segera hubungi perusahaan sekuritas Anda, Customer Care KPEI, atau kunjungi website kami untuk mengetahui layanan PME. PME, pinjamkan sahamnya, dapatkan manfaatnya.
Nggak ada sama sekali itu cita-cita untuk jadi musisi, sama sekali nggak ada.
Welcome back to Market Headline. The government has ensured to extend the 100% luxury sales tax incentive for car under 1,500cc until August 2021.
The government continues to boost national economic recovery by carrying out various efforts, one of which is the provision of fiscal incentives in the form of discounted tax rates on luxury goods sales for motorized vehicles. Spokesman for the Ministry of Industry, Febri Henry, ensured that 100% luxury sales tax incentive for car sales under 1,500cc was extended until August 2021. Thus, from September to December 2021, the luxury goods sales tax incentive was given a 50% discount. Even Febri said that this effort was carried out to encourage the business climate, especially the potential of the automotive sector, with a production capacity of 2.35 million units per year, with a workforce of 38,000 people, including 1.5 million people working along the value chain of the automotive industry.
Terutama Kemenperin mengajukan usulan agar fasilitas PPNBM DTP 100% untuk mobil 4x2 di bawah 1.500 cc ini diberi perpanjangan sampai Agustus. Dan itu disampaikan dalam rapat PEN yang dipimpin oleh Menko Perekonomian Pak Erlangga Hartarto dan kemudian disetujui juga oleh Ibu Menteri Keuangan.
Meanwhile, based on data from the Association of Indonesian Automotive Industries or GAIKINDO, retail sales from January to April 2021 rose 5.9% to 257,953 units. From Jakarta, Ade Firmansyah for IDX Channel.
Go back a little bit to March 2021. It was indeed a happy moment for automotive industry players as Indonesia provided a temporary tax break for some cars. Yes, that iconic 100% luxury tax waiver on some cars. Previously, the government said that it was applicable from March to May, but now, as the government sees that the stimulus for the middle class has great potential to boost the consumptions, government revised it up to August. Government's reasons in this is very strong to expand the tax-free period. So therefore, let's see the reason behind luxury tax cut on certain cars in the next graphic. The first graphic, we can see government's reason behind removing luxury tax on sales on some cars. We can see that by cutting luxury tax on car sales, it means that it could increase the people's purchasing power and lead to boost economic growth in 2021 in the end. And then it can increase the utilizations of the automotive industry as well. And yes, the main idea is about to boost economic growth in 2021. But however, the key is people's purchasing power.
not the ability to afford cars, but willingness to buy cars, because it says that so-called upper middle class had so far held back from big purchases during the pandemic and preferred to increase their savings. So the government is low-key targeting the upper middle class. In line with the government's reason, Chairman of Associations of Indonesia's Automotive Industries, or Gaikindo, Yongki Sugiarto, said that the implementations of luxury tax waiver can reduce the car price and stimulate the national car industry. Well, when we talk about car industry, we're talking about huge industry because there's a massive multiplier effects. And as the industry is very broad, let's see the detailed sectors in the next graphic. Here on screens, we can see that the sectors in Indonesia's automotive industry that is spread into many sectors. First of all, the first tier that has 550 companies inside of it within 220,000 workers. Meanwhile, for the second and third tier, it contains 1,000 companies with 210,000 workers. When we talk about assembly lines, there have around 22 companies and 75,000 workers in it. And when we talk about authorized dealers and repairs, it has 14,000 companies and 400,000 workers. But when we talk about unauthorized dealer and repairs, it has many of companies by 42,000 companies and 595,000 workers. And until now, the automotive sector is supported by companies with a total capacity of 2.35 million units per year and absorbs around 38,000 direct workers. And in addition, millions of people work along the industry value chain. Expansions of the labor-intensive industry is projected to compensate for faster national economic recovery. And therefore, government believes that this way, removing luxury tax on sales of some cars is a win-win solution for all parties. As a result, it has been proven to be effective to boost sales of automotive manufacturers since it had been implemented throughout March and April 2021. So let's see the increase in the next graphic. Through the next graphic, we can see the car sales increase. We can see that in March 2021, the increase was 28.85% compared to March 2022. Meanwhile, from April 2021, we can see that it is very significant compared to April 2022 by the increase of 227%. And yes, the retail sales in the April 2021 rose by 227% compared to the previous year, whereas the retail sales only reached around 24,000 units. Meanwhile, wholesale car or factories to dealers decreased by 6,000 units compared to March. But however, annually, the wholesale sales jumped by more than 900% in March 2022. As well as we know that pandemic game was very strong in April 2020. But what about May? Was the hype still there? Let's see the next graphic for the answer. Here it is. Through the fourth graphic, we can see the car wholesales. By April 2021, the number of car wholesale sales to the retail is at 78,908 units. But however, in May, it fell down to 55,815 units, and the decrease, we can say, it reached around 30.53%. And the Gaikindo chairman stated that this is in line with the last working day, for example, in 8 elevator moments. But still, he believes that the sales trend will be harder again and can reach the association's annual targets of selling 750,000 units. And plus, the government is extending the 100% luxury tax cut up to August. And indeed, car sales have recovered after a dramatic plunge at the beginning of the coronavirus pandemic, but yet to return to the pre-pandemic level. So we hope that the government can formulate the best scheme for boosting the sector and follow up by all stakeholders. Stay with us because market headlines will be right back after this quick break.
aplikasi mClears hadir di handphone Anda untuk memudahkan transaksi Anda. Informasi aktivitas clearing dan penjaminan tidak lagi hanya dapat diakses melalui komputer di kantor Anda, melainkan dapat diakses di mana saja dan kapan saja dalam genggaman Anda. Fitur-fitur mClears. Equity clearing dan settlement adalah fitur di mana Anda dapat melihat posisi kewajiban settlement anggota clearing hingga nilai alternate case settlement serta informasi gagal bayar. Risk management adalah fitur di mana Anda dapat melihat posisi trading limit, kolateral, MKBD, portofolio harian, risk charge anggota clearing dan kombinasi, serta nilai minimum cash collateral. Derivatif adalah fitur di mana Anda dapat melihat posisi trading limit, margin call, dan informasi clearing derivatif. Terkait pinjam-meminjam efek, terdapat fitur mengenai borrowing information dan lendable pool information, serta lending revenue dan borrowing fee. Serta menu lain yang menampilkan informasi mengenai haircut, risk charge saham, dan nilai harga penyelesaian harian dan harga penyelesaian final. Selain itu, Anda juga dapat mengakses fitur pengumuman, peraturan, dan informasi layanan KPEI pada aplikasi mClears. Download aplikasi mClears di App Store atau Google Play Store. Lakukan registrasi user Anda dengan menggunakan alamat email berdomain resmi yang sesuai dengan anggota clearing Anda. Setelah registrasi, Anda akan diberikan kode OTP di email Anda untuk verifikasi, dan aplikasi mClears Anda siap untuk digunakan. Anda dapat mengakses seluruh menu pada aplikasi mClears dengan melakukan aktivasi berlangganan premium yang dapat dilakukan dengan memilih menu Get Premium. Download aplikasinya sekarang, lakukan registrasi, dan dapatkan kemudahan dalam genggaman tangan Anda. Kemudahan informasi KPEI dalam genggaman Anda.
Nggak ada sama sekali itu cita-cita untuk jadi musisi, sama sekali nggak ada.
Welcome back to Market Headlines. So viewers, let's take a look at Jakarta Composite Index intraday movement. So earlier today, JCI was open at the level of 6,066.25 and approaching the closing time of the first session, the index was closed at the level of 6,073.76. And the index was showing strengthening trend by the second session closing time. The index was closed at the level of 6,089.04. In short, JCI went up 0.14%. Next, we're going to see the sectoral movement. Leading the dynamics of today's tradings, we got a basic as the leader of strengthening trend that went up 2.85% and technology that went up 1.7%. And then we got property as the leader of the weakening trend that went down 1.38% and transportations and logistics that went down 1.07%. Moving on to the top gainers and top losers, here are the key highlights from today's trading sessions. We got MDKA that went up 1.4%. We got BBCA that went up 0.94%. We got FRAN that went up 2.13% and BMRI that went up 0.8%. Meantime, for the top losers for today's trading sessions, we got BBRI that went down 2.76%. We got Arto that went down 0.19%. We got ANTM that went down 2.07% and BABP that went down 6.91%. And next, we're going to see the intraday movement of rupiah towards US dollar. So rupiah opened at level of 14,240. Rupiah was also showing weakening trend towards US dollar. It was closed at the level of 14,225. In summary, rupiah went down 0.64%. Hero Supermarket Management is currently exploring the options of monetizing infrastructure assets in a number of giant outlets to finance development of IKEA, Guardian, and Hero outlets.
Hero Supermarket admitted that the company is currently exploring the option of monetizing infrastructure assets in a number of giant outlets to finance the development of IKEA, Guardian, and Hero Supermarket outlets. According to Hero Director Hadrianus Wahyu Trikusumo, after the company completes the restructuring of Giant, Hero will focus its business on the IKEA, Guardian and Hero supermarket brands. In addition, he continued, Hero will also concentrate more on the e-commerce business and have the ambition for IKEA and Guardian to become industrial leaders in their respective categories. Previously, Hero's management revealed that the company plans to convert 5 giant outlets into IKEA outlets and is evaluating the feasibility of converting several giant outlets into Hero supermarket outlets. Wahyu added, unconverted and unsold giant stores will be closed. IDX Channel reports.
Step aside from market conditions as coronavirus pandemic takes big role on current economic situations. Here is an update data about coronavirus globally. The news close our market headlines today. Please enjoy our next program on IDX Channel, your trustworthy economic business and capital market channel. And don't forget to always wear face mask in the public, keeping safe physical distances, and washing hands to break the chains of COVID-19 infections. I'm Claranta Wijaya. Have a nice evening and stay safe.
Aku nge-build relationnya itu mungkin yang aku tepat aja gitu. Maksudnya siapa yang aku ketemu itu benar-benar tepat sasaran yang membuka pintu aku untuk menjadi seperti sekarang ini.
Kangkung udah, bawang merah udah dapat di